On today's episode of Identity, Global Youth Ambassador for A World at School, Dennis Ngango, is in the Identity coffee shop. We hang out with members of the Mdantsane Art Centre. What's Appening features the review of a Jewish app and a must-watch movie. Then we wrap things up with a music video from Songstress Unati.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Molweni siyanamkela ku Identity, inkqubo ejongane nokukwakha emoyeni. Ndim umsasazi wenu uviwe Gwala. As we kick off a brand new month, let us remember that the month of August is Women's Month. This is a tribute to the pioneers of the women's movement during our struggle for freedom. Ugqugquzelo lwabo lokunyusa abantu ababhinqileyo lwenza ukuba abantu ababhinqileyo abatsha bakhona ukuba bazimele njengoba sikhona nje namhlanje. Sininqanela inyanga yomama emandi kuni nonke ababukeli abangabantu ababhinqileyo. Njengoba kusitshiwe, wathinta umfazi, wathinta imbokodo. It's time now for you to experience the best in spiritual infotainment and inspiration. Let's meet today's coffee shop guest. When you talk about young achievers, you can't do so without mentioning this young man's name. At just 20 years of age, Dennis Ngango has achieved more than his peers. In 2012, while still in matric, Dennis started an online forum that gave young people a platform to share their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. He's currently the youngest TEDx Johannesburg Fellow and was recently selected to be a Global Youth Ambassador for A World at School by the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. These are just some of his achievements. I am so excited to hang out with this dynamic young person. Thank you so much for joining us, Dennis, on Identity.
I'm so excited. You don't understand. And thank you for saying my surname right. Very few people get it right. So.
It is a pleasure. So you grew up in Vereeniging.
Yes.
So tell us about that. How was your childhood like?
Well, I'm in a family of 5. So it's my mom and my dad and my 2 siblings. I always have to count. But yeah, so 5 of us, and I'm the youngest, I'm the last born. So I've had the most amazing parents because they literally support me in all my dreams and my ambitions as well. And the thing is, my sister and I have a 5-year gap. So when I was in grade 2, my sister was going to high school. So when she was maturing and becoming a great lady, which she is today, my dad was sharing the wisdom with her and I was there. And that's why I think I've had to start such a momentum, because I understand so much about life at such a young age. And once you know better, you have to do better. I think I live by that.
Really, yeah, because you come across as so mature. Speaking about mature, you started an online forum.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that, you know, at the age of 16? Tell us about that.
The thing is, my sister, who I just mentioned now,
Yeah.
she helped me with that a lot. So she helped me come up with the name, which is Up and Coming Current.
Okay.
Because you're current, but you're also up and coming. There's an element to you of being great, and you need to work towards that. And I think that's exactly what the website is about, just encouraging and inspiring and empowering. Because if you go on the internet, you can find any sort of gossip, and when you look at the news, it's always very negative. But to find a positive light is very few. So I wanted to be that difference, because if it's not me, then who? So you always ask yourself those questions: if not now, when? If not you, who?
Yeah. And speaking of who, you're a big who. You're a World Youth Global Ambassador. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, I was selected. What happened is they heard from me from my community work that I did. So then they just sent me an email. They asked me to send my CV and some of the accomplishments that I've done till the beginning of the year. And then I was elected. And now I'm sort of just being an ambassador to children's education and standing up for the voiceless, because they can't fight for themselves. And I think it's, to a certain extent, very illogical for us to just say that, you know what, we can expect a child who can't even read and write to be equipped enough to take over the world.
And that's why you're running the education petition, because you are having, you know, your success around it, you know. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, in the year 2000, 164 countries met, and they sort of set out the Millennium Development Goals.
Okay.
And what happened is they said they made a global commitment for education for all at the end of 2015. This deadline is now slowly but surely approaching, and we have 59 million children in the world who are not being educated. And the thing is, we started this petition because I can't just be like, that's okay, and neither can the other global youth ambassadors. So this is our solution. And I think as South Africans, as people and citizens of the world, we can always point out problems. It's easy to say, this person is doing that, ESCOM is this, that. We have problems, sharp, but where is your solution? We need to bring something. We need to be change makers. Doesn't matter how old or how young, how you might think, how stupid your idea might be. No matter, we just all need to contribute, because this is our world. This is our world for the taking, and if you don't shape it, then somebody else will.
Dennis, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, where does all this passion come from? I mean, at your age, at 20, a lot of people are thinking about turning up, and you are turning up about something different. So where's this passion coming from?
I think everything always starts at home, and my mom and my dad, I've never seen them sort of turn up themselves. So I can't go out into the world and sort of do things that I didn't sort of learn at home. So because my parents didn't do that, and because for me, and I always say that, I'm very happy with the life that I'm living now. So if I go and turn up, it's not necessarily going to add anything, good nor bad. So I'd rather just stick to what I know and do the best with my time, because at the same time, I am young now. And that's why I'm such a forefront to go and make changes, because I'm young now, and half of the population is under the age of 25 of the world, and South Africa as well. You
decided to be part of, or become a representative of a spirituality and a communications rep at school.
Yes.
Is that how it came about? And I'm interested to find out, like, what does that mean even?
Well, I'm currently studying industrial engineering at the University of Pretoria, which is mind-blowing on its own, because engineering is also quite tough. So I'm doing that at the University of Pretoria, and in my first year, which was last year, let's just get that out there, I went to Res, and my Res is called the House Mpumi, and we sort of have a house committee there who looks after different perspectives of the Res and the people in it, and I was elected, and I'm the youngest on the team as well, to be the spiritual and well-being and communication and participation representative. So what I really do is I just look after the 238 guys in the residence, look after their well-being, sort of set up spiritual events, because at the end of the day, this is university life, Res life, is like your first step into the real world, you know. Most of us are still steady chilling when we're finishing matric. So getting into varsity, it's quite a tough world. A lot of people don't make it. It's very tough. Dropout rates are real. So getting into that and just giving people the right support. And obviously I have an amazing team, which is what I'm very thankful of. And a lot of people would like to hear my story. Obviously they're watching the show, and they need to understand that it's based on the people that I surround myself with. I have the most amazing friends. I have the most amazing support. And even now, being a spiritual leader and being in a group, I was the youngest in that group, because you cannot go into the Res, say you want to be a leader when you've only been there for 6 months. You know, most people stay there for like a year and a half. So for me to do it for 6 months, for the house to have confidence in me and be like, yes.
You need to earn your stripes.
Exactly. So for me to get in and everyone to have their support and to support me and all the things that I do is a blessing.
I like how you touch up on university life, but why specifically spirituality to anchor you?
Well, I think right now, because I just turned 20, I'm in my sort of selfish 20s. You're still sort of discovering yourself, and once you sort of reflect, you have body, mind, and soul. So we cannot ignore that there's different sort of aspects to life: physical, mental, emotional, and of course, spiritual. And I think in life, and I read a quote this morning, it said, life is too short, the world is too big, and the God is too great for you to live in an ordinary life. So you need to do something great. And I think spirituality just comforts you, and it gives you that strength where when you don't know what else to do. And it also answers a lot of questions, because if you had to go around the world and just in your everyday life wanting answers the whole time, I don't know how you would survive. And that spirituality sort of is that comfort, because you know that I'm alive. And that's one of the things I always tell young people, is that I'm alive today for a reason. God opened this book. He said, Dennis, you're awake now to do something spectacular. The world needs what you have. And once your time is over, I'll call you up and we'll groove and we'll have some fun.
I love that analogy. So here we also have fun on identity. We have a quick word game. Answer as quickly as possible, and it's one word answers. He's whispering to me, it's not fair. So are you ready?
As ready as I can be.
Thank you. Would you rather have X-ray vision or bionic hearing?
X-ray vision.
Have money or power?
I think power, because that comes with influence.
Have a rewind button or a pause button in your life?
Pause.
Be able to talk to animals or be able to speak all languages of the world?
All languages of the world, so I can connect with people.
Always be underdressed or overdressed?
That's a hard one. I think overdressed.
Overdressed. Dennis, thank you so much for coming to Identity. You're such an inspiration.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Dennis is truly an inspiration to both young and old. And in the words of humanitarian, singer and social activist Bono, this is a time for bold measures. This is the country and you are the generation. Let us know how this interview has inspired you, or tell us how you are making a difference in your community. You can send an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com, or you can get in touch with us via Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. We love hearing from you. Emva kwentengiso sibheka Mdantsane Art Centre eMpuma Koloni ukuyohluza ingqondo yethu ngobugcisa. Ningasuduki.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to Identity, the nation's favorite multi-faith youth show with me, Mpumi Mbethe. Thank you for staying with us. Iilokishi ezininzi zaziwa ngobugebenga olusezingeni eliphezulu kwaye nokunqaba kwemisebenzi. eMpuma Koloni kwilokishi yaseMdantsane ibali liyafana nalo. Kodwa kobo bunzima kukho iqela labantu abatsha abazimisela ukutshintsha yonke loo nto. Iqela lethu lipakishe imithwalo yayo labheka eMdantsane ukuyobona ukuba ulutsha lenza njani ukulwisa obu bunzima. Nakho ke abakufumene.
This is my identity.
Igama lami Mcebo Mzansians ayifani. Ndisebenza eMdantsane Art Centre as a public relations officer / artist. Mdantsane as a township waziwa ngobusitothu kokuqala. Abanye abantu abasuka kwezinye indawo abayithi bebengayithandi phofu visitela eMdantsane, but ngenxa yale institution, you know, ne-artist ezikhoyo locally, because ezinye artists bezingotsotsi, so zatshintsha after kukho le into. Ezinye ziyacula, ezinye ziya-act, ezinye ziyabumba pottery, ezinye zenza fashion. Lena into yacelwa ngabahlali le Mdantsane Art Centre. Yacelwa ngabahlali wayiprovide umasipala, then i-department iyancedisa in terms of ukuqinisekisa into yobana iyasebenza on daily basis.
Le center idlala indima enkulu kwakum, yabo, because xa sihlele elokishini silulutsha siba nento sihlala nje singenzi into. So xa sizapha ecenter ufumana abantu abaninzi, sine-pottery room apha, sine-music room, sinobhuti owenza izi-sculptures, so zininzi izinto onozifunda apha e-art center ezumntu omtsha. So le art center kum idlale indima enkulu nakubanye abantwana endibabonileyo befika apha e-art center.
Le art center msebenzela apha nikuncede ngohlobo lokubana ndihlangane nabantu who are actually interested kwinto endiyenzayo. So bantu abaninzi ndidibene nabo balapha eMdantsane ngenxa yobalapha e-art center, plus nee-platforms ezifana nalena ke. Apha kule art center into endiyenzayo yi-painting, pottery, I do also ne-sculptures, ne-drawing. Actually ndenza fine art. What inspires me ngale center is la opportunity sifumanayo sizi-artists lapha eMdantsane. Kokuqala sifumana assistance ngendawo, shelter, sifumana assistance nge-tools zosebenza. I-creator i-platform for abantu abazi-artists abangenandlela zosebenza. Also abantu endihlala nabo apha inspire me, bayaza banendlela yokuza nee-ideas, yabo, ebengasoke ndizicinge mna, yabo. So hlala amongst other artists is what inspires me actually.
Mna kule art center yalapha Mdantsane ndispecialize mna in screen printing. So abantu aba around Mdantsane bonke baxhomeke kumo nge-printing, even i-artist as a performer apha nebethofana namhlanje zalapha Mdantsane zonke zenzelwa ndim inantsika impahla zazo ziprintelwa ndim. Ukufika kwam kule art center inintsi into eye yatshintsha kakhulu ebomini bam neye yatshintsha kunasika kumsebenzi lo ndwenzayo, ngoba ngoku ndiye ndafumana ithuba lowenza uba ndiwenze day by day, and then ndatsho ndakwazi ukuzibona ii-challenges zonke neendlela zokuzisombulula ii-challenges ze-screen printing. So loo nto le yenze utshintsho kakhulu nasebomini bam, ngoba ngoku ii-clients zam zenyuke phantsi ngokuphindaphindwe kahlanu kunobana ndandisebenza kunexesha endandisebenzela ekhaya ngalo. Ndizingca ngale art center kubana iyandomeleza mna ndingumntu, futhi ke indenza ndihlale ndizithembe njenge-artist. So njengoko ndise-art center, so ngoku ndiyakwazi ukusilela ubana ndiyi-artist yokonene ngoba ndisebenzela e-art center, futhi ke ndisebenza nezinye artists ehlala zindingqongile.
Mna yona nto ndinoyithetha kubantu abatsha okanye abantu aba-ambitious uba bangenza umehluko ngeetalente zabo kwii-communities. Each and every dream is meant to be seen. So ayikho ndweba xa uba ulukhwele estagini uzama ubonakalisa iphupha lakho nayo, and abanye abantu banamaphupha obhala incwadi, so ingase into oyiphuphayo ingase ukhawuleze uyibonakalise out there. Make sure xa uba usherisha le nto nayo with i-world and ube confident ngayo. So yona nto ndiyithethayo into yobana try by all means into yobana usharpenishe iskill sakho, and yeah, put God first, uzoba great.
This is my identity.
Thank you to the members of the Mdantsane Art Centre for sharing their wonderful work with us. I hope this story has challenged and inspired you to try and make a difference in and around your community. Let's take one more break. Don't go away because you won't want to miss today's What's Appening segment. We will be reviewing a Jewish app and a movie that will tug at your heartstrings.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to the trend-setting multi-faith youth show, Identity. Thank you for staying with us. If you've just joined us, here's what you missed. Go-getter and Global World Ambassador Dennis Ngango got the show off to a great start. We then got RT when we visited the Mdantsane Art Centre in the Eastern Cape. But don't worry, you can always catch the Identity repeats on Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. right here on SABC 1. Now it's time for this week's media reviews. This is What's Appening. Today's app was created for the on-the-go Jewish individual for whom religious observances are of utmost importance. It's called Hayom. Hayom, which means today in Hebrew, is designed to make tending to your day-to-day and religious needs more convenient. You can set the app to notify you during key Jewish times, such as the start of Shabbat. It also allows you to personalize your alerts for Jewish observances based on the date and your location. When you open the app, the date is also conveniently displayed according to the Jewish calendar. Based on your location, the app lists Shabbat times at a synagogue near you. Get your dose of daily wisdom with passages from the Talmud. You also have access to daily study material with articles that link you directly to Shabbat.org. For a list of religious events happening in your area, simply scroll to the nearby events section. The app also gives you a daily update on today in Jewish history. Use the app to search for Shabbat centers near you, no matter where in the world you are. The Hayom app is the perfect companion for your religious needs. Download it today. Next up is a movie that tackles the very sensitive issue of race, but I'm certain it will tug at your heartstrings too. It's the movie Black or White.
Toothpaste, toothbrush in your mouth now. What?
Matter. You gotta be mad at me like you mean it.
Eloise, you brush those teeth. Don't make me come in here and have to say it twice.
When Elliot Anderson loses his wife in a car crash, he's suddenly thrust into the role of having to raise Eloise, his biracial granddaughter, alone. When her paternal grandmother draws him into a custody battle, Eloise is caught in the middle of two families that she loves dearly.
The last person I need around me right now is Grandma Wee Wee.
The movie takes us through a series of events that force both families to confront their feelings about race, forgiveness, and understanding.
Family down with me.
Well, you can always come for a swim. Oh, Lord.
Hey, guys! Hey, baby.
Black or White stars acting legends Kevin Costner and Octavia Spencer, who play their roles with sincerity and conviction. Based on real events, this movie shows that although nothing is ever really black and white, love has no color. Get Black or White at your nearest DVD rental store today.
I love you, Mama.
This is about Eloise.
That brings us to the end of today's episode of i-Dentity. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you for the past 30 minutes. Remember guys, getting in touch with us is easy. We're just a click away. All you have to do is search for i-Dentity TV show on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, and just like that, we're connected. You can also send an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. Encouraging us to chase after our dreams, here is Unati playing us out with her song Run. Kum uviwe kwala neqala le-identity sithi libe neveki esikelekileyo.